up, everyone? I'm Spencer King. To my left is Jeff Walsh.
What's going on?
And this is The Meltdown, your weekly show where two grown men take comic books way too serious. This is your first time joining us. We post our conversations piece by piece, Monday through Thursday. Yep. And then the whole flipping thing on Friday. Yeah, that's it. Take it all then. That's when we're giving it to you. That's what I said, and I'm sticking to it.
You can stop talking now.
Okay, that's fine.
What's going on, man?
I don't know. I'm having a time here tonight.
That was an intro.
That wasn't it?
Are you okay? Do you need a moment? You look tired.
Wow. Man. I'm good now.
Are you good?
Yeah, I'm good now.
All right. How's your week been?
Oh, man, it's been pretty good. I am excited to talk about these things that we're talking about tonight because I've got the feels. I've got the feels for them. Yes, there's a lot of fuel from these comic book things that are really giving me
the thingies,
the juices. You know, I care a lot.
So these thingies are like priming your juices.
Yeah, like priming that engine just to start it.
Well, I have no idea where this is going.
No. I don't know mechanics. Okay.
If this is your first time joining us, welcome. This is going to be a heck of an episode.
Oh, yeah. Welcome. Glad you're here.
Yeah. Sorry for what you're about to watch.
Or
maybe not, because it's a fun...
Yeah. Not
time.
sorry.
Sorry, not...
Yeah, because, we're going to talk.
Hey, okay. So, when's a good time to pull out?
When is it? That is the question.
Of comic books.
Because we have pull lists.
Okay. So here's the conversation.
Yeah, because this is a thing that happens to...
Correct.
To all of us.
To everybody.
You and me.
Yeah.
Even.
Well, I struggle with it.
That's true.
Okay, so you've been reading comic books for however long. Doesn't matter. You could be like new, just first few comics this month, or like a lifer like me, or somewhere in between like you, because I don't know.
Doesn't matter?
Yeah, whatever.
I don't even know.
This is good stuff. And then you were into a comic at first,
right?
Whatever it may be,
right?
Like, I don't want to name a comic because then I feel like I'm like setting that comic up to fail,
right?
It's like Snoopy. I don't think that's a comic. So is Snoopy a comic
in the newspaper?
Are there still newspapers?
He was a comic strip. You just
Snoopy doesn't matter.
Start of comics.
No. Garfield was the start of comics.
So Snoopy.
Okay.
Something that you just start reading.
Yeah, so you start reading a comic, whatever it may be, and you're like, oh, I love this, the first, 5 issues, whatever, and you get through like that story arc that you were so much in love with.
Right.
And then like the new arc starts, and maybe they changed writers, or maybe they changed artists, or maybe they changed all of it, as they do.
Yep. I talked about how that happened to me before.
And now you're not feeling it. For some reason, but see, then you're hooked, right? This is the problem. Okay. This is where they get you, because you were like, oh, I really liked, this comic, whatever, like Superhero Man, right? Let's just make up a generic one.
That one.
And you're like, oh, the story was great. I really liked the hero. Like everything was so much fun. And then for some reason they changed stuff, or whatever it may be, and now you're like, I don't like this, but you feel connected. Yeah. It's almost like breaking up a friendship. Right. And the longer you're in that book, so for me and Daredevil, I think at this point, because that's Daredevil and Spawn. Actually, let's go with Spawn.
Yeah.
Because Spawn's actually the longest one I've ever read.
Yeah, you really like Spawn.
I don't know if they can do anything that would make me stop reading Spawn.
Gotcha. Right.
I don't think I could pull out of that book yet. Ever.
Right.
There's certain books, we call them on the edge books, but I don't think I could.
Okay.
So
You're so engrossed.
I am. So what are your signs?
Ah, man.
Of so you're in a book, and you're like, all right, I don't. What are when is it that you start noticing?
Right.
I might be breaking up with this book.
Oh,
it's not you, it's me.
Yeah.
Nope, just kidding, it's you.
Man, and sometimes you're on the way to break up with someone, but they break up with you first, and you feel like that's not fair. Like that, right?
So how do comics, do they cancel the book?
That's what I meant. Okay, no, so for me, I kind of hit on it before with the New 52, right?
Right.
Gosh, yeah, frick. When the books make you realize how much money you're spending.
Oh, that's a good one.
I
didn't even think of that.
That's what it is. Okay, straight up, I'm on a budget. That's a thing.
Yeah.
I try to be an adult.
Yeah.
I'm supposedly a grown man.
Yeah.
We claim that.
That's, on your taxes, you claim it.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
But, so I'm trying. Like, I was looking at my pull list today, and it was actually neat. It was cool to see that, like, I have a decent sized list. Some that are not there anymore. Some,
Mine's so bad.
No, I know, right? But mine's it's smaller, but there's definitely enough to keep me going for the month.
Okay.
I mean, 1 week I'll only get one pull though, and so
Right.
sometimes I'll just skip that week and I'll play more games or read what I haven't yet or whatever.
Yeah.
There's always something to read.
You can
about.
always
Yeah.
fill your time with other things.
It's fine.
It's I mean
That's what the other things.
other
are there
things
for.
are less than comics, but that's okay.
Right. That's why these are first things. Comics are first things.
What? I don't even know where you're going with that.
No, I'm just throwing it up there, seeing where it lands.
I threw it against the wall and see if it stuck.
Did it?
Turns out it's poop.
Cool. So about my budget, that's a thing. Because so many times, like our comic book store will have deals. Like an issue number 1 will be half off.
They get me
and you
every
want to try
time.
it, but like my budget, I've already filled up a max. So like when Darth Vader ended,
Right.
I was able to add another one on,
Right.
and that was great.
Yeah.
But like that one had to be like
So something had to end for a new comic to enter into your
right.
life.
One has to start when another one's ending, and they don't always line up like that.
Okay. So here's a question.
Okay.
So as one ends,
Yeah.
do you already know what comic? Like, are you eyeballing? Like, okay, I know Darth Vader's gonna end in 5 issues. So what comic am I looking at that maybe I'm gonna pick up?
Yeah, like right now it's Dr. Aphra, a spinoff from Darth Vader, so it's really not
Ugh.
even going anywhere.
Gosh darn!
But then I have you telling me about these books that I couldn't pick up because
Like today with Ether.
Ether I almost did, but then didn't, and then you told me about Moonshine, and now that I'm
Oh my
feeling about
gosh.
going back to that
Look,
one.
If you have no idea what we're talking about, go to Reverse Meltdown. November 16th, new comic book day. I wrote about them. Ether, Moonshine, and Horizon were the picks
there
I
you
did
go.
today.
Nice.
Those books are so good, but I'm going to specifically, because we're just brought up, Ether came out today, number 1. And see, this fits perfect because if you're wanting to read it,
Yeah.
you have to chop off one of your children
Yes.
to adopt a new child.
But that's the thing. How do you know when it's time to
So
chop?
I didn't even think of that. I love the idea that money. So if I'm going into the store and I have done this and I didn't even realize I was doing it.
Yeah.
So earlier this year I had a lot of Marvel and DC books.
Right.
On top of everything else. So I got bored. I've talked about it a couple episodes ago, whatever. I got bored.
Right.
And I realized that I was feeling and thinking what you said about the money, where I'm like, I would see the book and I would be like, do I really want to spend $3 on this
Yeah.
for another month and another month?
Yep.
And then I would get home and look at these books and I'm like, there's 6 books in this pile and I don't even care. That's
Yep.
$20.
Yep.
So I'm like, I never realized I was going through that. But yeah, the money thing is for sure.
Yeah. And the first time I realized that it was money was the New 52 when I was reading all those Gotham books. I talked about it when I was starting to
They had
fade
the
out.
weeklies and
Jeez. And then I was just kind of like, you know what? This one's not really worth it. The next thing that I realized, this was huge. You and I both have talked about this before. When we start ordering our comic books, like, okay, I want to read this one the most.
Yeah.
So I'm putting these other 3 in front of it on my pile to read through them to get to the one that I really want to read.
Yeah.
When that happens, those first 3 books, you need to seriously consider
You
if
really
you
do.
should be reading them anymore.
It's like a reward for doing work.
Comic books should not be work.
Okay, now in my defense, because I do that a lot.
Right.
In my defense, I have a lot to read.
Yes.
And so there are what I would call so I don't read books I don't like. I've managed to break my addiction that far. I'm not kidding. I used to read books I don't like.
Gosh.
Yeah, I would get sick of books and be like, well, I've been reading it for 5 years, so maybe it'll get better.
It's got to be like drinking out of a square mug.
Yeah, no, that's enjoyable. And I don't even have the mug here to demonstrate.
No, I'm so happy.
Jackass. That mug is great. And Lily bought it for me, and I like drinking out of it because it makes me feel like I'm drinking out of a teapot.
And you're allowed. You're allowed to like it.
Makes me feel pretty.
You know what? And you are. You know what? I'm so happy for you and your feelings.
Thank you.
Comic books that you don't like.
Oh yeah. So okay. So what I would do is there's certain books if it in my mind if it hits a 5 for me, I'm done with it. So a scale of 1 to 10.
Okay.
If it hits a 5, I'm like I'm done because it's just I'm bored. Right.
Not worth it.
So everything in my pile is a 7 or higher. But then there's those certain books that are 10s, 9s and 10s.
Yeah.
So Fairyland.
Yep.
I will stagger that behind a few 7s.
Sure.
Whatever else. I bring up Fairyland a lot. I really do love that book.
You do.
Tokyo Ghost was one when it was running.
Yep.
A few of the like Aftershock books we're gonna talk about in a little bit.
Yep.
So like anyways, we'll get to those. But yeah, so that's how I do it. But the other thing for me that I know that I'm like, why am I still buying this book?
Right.
It's time to go. Time to pull out of this freaking story.
Yeah.
When I start skipping pages.
No.
Have you ever done that?
No.
Oh my gosh, I do that all the time. That's how I know the book's done.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. So like I'll be reading it and I'm like, I'm bored. And I'm like, nothing interesting has happened to me. So like it starts slow, right? It's like drugs.
Okay,
it's
of
like
course.
So you don't start, dropping meth or whatever you do with meth.
You drop it.
Do you drop it?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So then you don't snort coke meth. I don't do drugs. Although right now this whole sentence says otherwise. So anyways,
gateway to boredom.
So it starts slow. Like I don't necessarily like just start flipping pages and see what happens.
Right.
But like I'll be like, oh, that's a lot of dialogue and not a lot's happened. So I'll like skim for like, oh, okay, there's a key point. Let's see what happens, and I can like burn through the book in like a minute and a half, and then get the gist.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end, I'm like, why am I still reading this book? But I have to do that for like 3 issues before I even can realize that I'm doing it.
That's the thing, because like spending money on one, that's why comic books are a success,
dude. Yeah, because
when you go issue by issue,
I think there's a lot of people that are like me that will literally go issues before they like, I don't like this anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
And by then you're on the street, you're missing teeth, your arms are a wreck,
offering people Steamboat Willies for $20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, Steamboat Willies. I remember.
You don't know what that is, do you?
Yeah, with Mickey Mouse.
Okay.
Black and white animation.
Sweet. You're so close and you're so far at the same time.
Oh, man.
Years ago, a guy made a cartoon called Prostitute Mickey, and a guy pulls up.
No.
Yeah, he made a cartoon. It's not from Disney.
Okay.
It's not. I don't know. I don't remember the creator's name.
I don't like this history lesson, but please continue.
He made a cartoon called Prostitute Mickey, and it's like all drawn like kind of cruddy.
Yeah.
And the opening scene is like this guy. His name's Mike, and I know this because I've watched this video like multiple times.
Yeah.
It's like it's one of those things where it's like really funny because it's so uncomfortable. And so Mike pulls up and he's like, "Hey, Mickey Mick, what's happening?"
Oh gosh.
And then Mickey's like, "Hey," no, it's Joe. He's like, "Hey, Joe, how's the family?" He's like, it's doing good, Mickey. So what do we got on the table today? And Mickey's like, $20 to get you a Steamboat Willie. And then the guy's like, that sounds nice. And then Mickey, in the saddest voice ever, goes, "It is for you." I lose it there every time.
Gosh.
Yeah. So there's a little history.
Wow.
I don't know. Just look up, or maybe don't. It's safe on YouTube. It's
Right.
just really funny.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Goofy's like a drug addict.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Man, parodies.
Yeah. Donald is
Am I
like
right?
he's like paralyzed. He's got like one of the things that talks like that.
Wow.
Yeah, it's great.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
But I feel like pulling out of that right now. Gosh. Done with
But
that
yeah. So
one.
that's my top one. Like I noticed I'm just starting to like
You start
skip
skipping.
pages.
Gosh.
Now on the reverse of that, I know that I'm getting more into a book
Yeah.
when I take my time reading it.
Ooh.
So like there's certain books like I read, and it's my average time for a book.
Yeah.
And there's like books like, and I'll specifically draw attention to Lady Mechanica is one of them that does it to me.
Yeah.
Trying to think, like Shipwreck did it to me, which
Okay.
because it's books that require a little more like thought.
Okay.
Like you have to kind of like look into some of the things that are actually happening.
Right.
And so I'll take more time. Like I'll read the page and I'll like go back and look at all the panels and like, oh, what's going on here? Like then I know I'm like, oh, okay, so this I'm starting to let's get that in the veins.
You're going. Yep.
Yeah, I have a lot of drug rereferences today.
Man, what's on your mind?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Drugs.
It's all right. Life gets better.
That's what my therapist says.
It's okay to be happy.
Oh, that's too much truth.
Oh no. Jeez.
So what else? Any other signs that it's time to go?
It's like there was a book today that I saw. I bought number 1. It was recommended to me, and I liked it.
What
It
book?
was good.
Oh, you don't want to say because
Yeah, I don't want to say because I don't want to discourage.
Yeah. Just wasn't for you.
It wasn't for me. Like I didn't like the representation of the trope
Okay.
the main character was playing. I didn't feel like it was accurate to the time, but at the same, but it was still good.
Sure.
But not great.
It wasn't just what you wanted.
Right. Like there was another book that was like so cool. It was a mashup of these two different things, but
all right, that's fair.
not great. Like these are good books. I mean, they get printed and published. They have to be approved enough.
There's a certain level.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
And so most of the books you pick up are going to be good.
Dude, and I'm going to... Can we sidebar a topic real quick? Because you brought it up.
Yep.
And I feel, as a blogger and a writer about comic books, I feel a need to say this.
Let it out.
So you just said that a book was good, but it wasn't for you.
Yes.
Okay. Why is it that when people don't like a book, specifically like critiquers, self-appointed critiquers, you know what I mean? Like I remember
the thumb people.
There was a dude on Twitter that was like, me critiquing books is a service to society.
Oh.
Yeah, like I was like, dude, you think a lot of your opinion on comic books. I don't. Like I write about comic books and I'm, not serving society.
The niche.
Not like that guy. Niche. Nachos. I'm hungry.
Another drug.
Yeah, that's my real drug.
True.
I will drink that cheese. Anyways, so what I don't understand is why people are writing critiques.
Okay.
And they don't like a book. Why do they feel the need to crap on that book? Like I read. Okay, I'm gonna bring up. I'm not gonna bring up who wrote it, but I'm gonna bring up the book that they wrote about.
Okay.
Sweet, my mind just went blank.
Oh, nice. Is that, I haven't heard of that one.
No, it's frick.
Is that helping?
No. Oh my gosh, I can see the cover in my mind.
Oh, what's it look like?
It's about the guy. I know you're reading it, so you can help me here because I literally can't remember it. It's the alien land slave times, big black guy.
Oh, Strange Fruit.
Strange Fruit. Thank you.
Nailed it.
Man, I could literally see like the last cover.
Yeah.
And I could not see the name. Anyways, that book was great. I loved it a lot.
I liked it too. Enough to get all 4 issues.
The last issue takes a turn that I wasn't expecting.
Okay.
But I enjoyed the turn it took.
Oh man, I can't wait to talk about what that was.
Okay. This guy goes on a major comic book website and just trashes this book.
Man.
Like up one side and down the other. Like he basically calls it like a crappy, not worth it version of Superman. Like I think he said something along the lines of like,
what?
Imagine if Superman wasn't good, you would have Strange Fruit.
Wow.
He's like the plot doesn't pay off, and like the art, everybody looks dead, and like he just trashes this book up one side down the other. And I'm in my mind, I'm reading this guy's like review, and I'm like, why? Like, was there nothing else that you enjoyed?
Okay.
That you could have written about?
Okay.
Why did you need to like? I forget who says it on Twitter. It might be Kurt Busiek, which is the guy who works at. I forget. I don't know how to say his last name. I think it's Busiek. So, anyways, he works at Marvel.
Okay.
Might be Brian Michael Bendis. It's one of the Marvel more popular guys.
Okay.
Anyways, somebody was getting trashed on, and it stuck with me. Where the guy he replied, whoever this was, replied, "Do you honestly believe they tried to make a bad book?"
Right.
He was like, everyone at Marvel, everyone at DC, anybody who's like indie creating their own things. If you go to like the Artist Alley, all those people that are creating books, everybody who's creating stuff and putting it out there, they're putting out their best. They are not. They're not putting out crap.
Right.
So you have to understand, with that in mind, when you trash a book, you're telling someone your best sucks.
Oof.
And I'm sorry, that's messed up.
No, that sucks.
Especially because creative people, like, that hurts. Especially if you're like a big name person that says this thing sucks.
Yeah.
And I don't get it. I don't understand. I'm like on a soapbox here because it bothers me a lot.
Right, no kidding.
When I see people like just crapping on books where you're like, man, that you just didn't like it.
Right.
Like on the blog, I specifically don't write about books that I just don't care for. Why? Because they're good.
Sure.
They're good to someone.
Yup.
They have their audience. Like, so just because it didn't appeal to me doesn't mean I need to go and just call this thing trash.
Right.
So anyways, I'm done with the soapbox, but I just don't get that.
No, that's so true, especially because when it comes to like artistic things and entertainment, aren't we supposed to enjoy these things?
Right, and they're supposed to be like subjective, but
These are supposed to be positive experiences.
I don't understand why we have to crap on it. Like, if we don't like it, why do we have to say bad thing?
Put it aside.
Right.
Just put it aside, out of mind, and move on.
Yeah, there's books that I've read, and I'm like, that was all right, not my thing.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, so I just put it in the pile. I'm like, I'm not going to buy the next issue,
Yep.
and I'm not going to go on the internet and be like, blah, this didn't appeal to me, so why it should have, because I'm the most. I don't know. I don't get it.
No, that's fair, and I like that. That's good.
Yeah, it bothers me. Like, it bothers me a lot. I don't know if you can tell, but it bothers me a lot.
Well, we all learned something here today. Not all comic books were created equal. No, I don't know. You know,
you were trying.
I was.
I was wondering what's crazy is when you said we all learned something here today. My brain, I know you well enough to know that my brain went, he's gonna say not comics created equal.
Oh man. Yeah.
So anyways, I got off on a tangent, but we were talking about like, when's a good time to like pull out of a comic.
Yeah.
And you mentioned the money thing, which I think is like.
Yeah,
hyper on point.
My budget has definitely tightened up my review parameters to really help me, like on your scale, really help me like throw those 5s out.
Yeah,
that's
fair.
Maybe even 6s and 7s. Like it's gotta be.
Hey, if you got, and that's the other thing. If you can only afford like
6s and 7s.
Yeah, if you can only afford 6 or 7s or 9s and 10s, then buy your 9s and 10s.
Yeah,
like there's no reason to feel bad. Or like seriously. Like, when I come home with my piles,
oh man,
Lily, like my wife, Lily, will look at it and be like, "How many of those are mine?" And if it's not a lot, she'll be like, "Really?" I'm like, yeah, I have a problem. But anyways,
yeah, and so like, there's been a book where I've only read 1 issue. There's been a couple. Maybe I'll get to 2. Like there was one that I got to 5, and it was that was the hardest one because I'm already so invested.
You're committed.
I'm so committed. It's probably
a relationship.
It's only ending in 1 or 2 more. But
look at the you're hearing the mind,
the justification.
Yeah. Oh, it's 2 more. Maybe it'll get better.
Maybe it'll get better. Yeah, when it ends, I don't have to read it anymore.
I don't have to pay for it anymore. And then I don't. But then,
Gosh.
Why do we get so connected to like? Why are we so like attached to things we don't like? Like if I'm eating a meal, and I'm like, oh, this thing tastes like crap. Or if I'm drinking,
I already took so many bites.
Oh, if I'm drinking a particular orange drink tonight, where I was like, I'm really thirsty. Can you give me something to drink? And then he did. No, don't put it up there. Don't, because it's bad. It would. It has it over there. We're trashing that drink. Yeah. Seriously, it tasted like orange vomit. It was disgusting.
I tried it.
His
thinking
joke
it was gonna be like.
His joke was
okay,
great. He was like, "Why did they make this? What was it? Expired flavor?" Yeah, it was great. Well, yeah, you don't do that with other things, right?
Right.
Like if you don't like a thing, then you're done.
Right.
And it's okay.
Yeah, just be done.
But not with comics, man.
Man, comics are a lot harder to pull away from. I don't know why.
My gut opinion, my gut instinct is because we get invested in characters, right?
Yeah.
So like most of the time you won't read a story where you don't really connect with anything. Like there's certain aspects of like with whatever. Like we're gonna talk about Super Zero in a minute from Aftershock. Like I don't, the main character that is not really us, but there's certain aspects of her personality that like we connect with and we like her personality. So then you're invested in that character. So then when you're done, you like have all those like feelings of like, oh, I'm connected to that character.
Right. You kind of want to.
I want to see what happens to that character.
Yep.
And but the story isn't really doing it for you, and then it's time to go.
Yeah. Another thing is why I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be a little vulnerable, even.
Ooh.
Yeah, showing a little bit of my true colors.
Oh.
Apart.
You're gonna be a little exposed.
A little exposed.
Okay.
But it's all right. It's warm enough in here. I could shed a few layers.
It's nice in here today.
It is. No, it is. It's nice.
Hot box.
Being into lesser known things is cool. It is cool.
You just hipstered.
I did, but that's the thing. Like, but let's be real. These independent books, we want more people to read them and everything.
We do.
I definitely liked like a lot of what I was getting into in the beginning was because it was lesser known. It felt special.
Ooh, that's a good point. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Like the comic book club, if you will, has grown.
Yep.
Some argue not enough. I am one of them that has not expanded into enough
enough readers.
Yeah, no, just enough diversity
of books.
Yeah, like they're
Okay.
still targeting their 1920 audience, but
Yep.
that's for another topic.
Sure.
But like indie comics does a good job of like closing that off, right? Because like if you're reading Batman, you're like, oh sweet, I'm one of millions now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, it's
Like,
exactly.
oh, everybody loves Batman.
Yeah.
But then if you're like, oh, I read this random book like Tokyo Ghost,
Yeah.
and you see another person like, oh, I like Tokyo Ghost. You're like, oh, this is so great, and this thing
That
happened
hype.
with the dent, and
Yeah, that connection.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
yeah, that's huge.
it's like a special little club,
It is. And it's
Yeah.
nice.
and that makes breaking up with the books all that much harder.
It does. It
Yeah.
does. Oh man, sometimes it's a creator that you like.
Dude,
Sometimes
oh,
you like a certain
jeez.
name and you want to follow them. You want to support them because you've liked the book they've done before. And this was the hardest thing because there was a book
Dude,
that I
you're-
stopped because I did like the writer.
Dude,
And I
you're
still
killing
read
me.
some of his stuff. I do.
I'm not ready to face
But not
this
this
yet.
one.
I'm not ready to face
No, I know.
this yet.
I know. We're getting some good stuff, right? Some good feels.
This is comic therapy right now.
Oh, we've needed it though.
Dude, there are certain books by writers and artists
Yep.
that I will buy, and I will literally take them home, put them in a bag, and put them away. I won't even read it. And I
Wow.
only do that because I love like that writer or that artist. That, and I'm gonna, now that I'm like thinking about it, 95% of that time when I do that, it's the artist.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean that's easier to, I guess, appreciate because you look at it. You don't
Right.
have to
Like I'm buying it
think
because I
about it.
like their artwork and like I want to like support that artist.
Okay.
But I don't really care if like the book that they're doing at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Most of the time with a writer, I'll read it because it's a book that they wrote.
Right.
So I'm probably
Yeah.
gonna dig it.
And you read it.